Kia ora whānau, I'm Sam Mangakahia. Ko te arawa te waka, ko tama te kapua te kaihau tū, ko motu tere te maunga, ko punga punga te awa, ko Ngāti huarere te iwi, ko Ngāti pare te hapu. I'm a cultural designer, artist, carver. Welcome to my world. Disney reached out on email. They asked, can you make something for Moana 2 to help promote it? And I was like, gonna make Maui's hook. I really wanted to do it in a way that I felt like was appropriate, represent my culture with like more Māori motifs and tell the story in that way, in that perspective. The story begins at the top of the hook around this area. And so this rope here represents the flax or harekeke that Maui wove together to harness the sun. In each story, I'm trying to educate the viewer about these values that help us to be better people in life. That encourages me as an artist to know that I'm helping in some way. I always had a deep fascination for art and design. Everyone has a story, and if I can tell it in a dynamic way that impacts just one person, my job is done. Who am I? I guess the best place to start is in the family. My dad is from Aotearoa. He actually was born in Malaysia because his dad, my koro, was in the New Zealand Army. So he was brought up there. And then my mom, she's British, Welsh, but she grew up in East Africa, Tanzania. My grandmother's Fijian Scottish, and so I would just say I'm just a big mix of everything, but I'm really drawn to the Māori side, and I felt a lot of connection and mana in that side of the DNA. A lot of my work is done right here on the iPad. This is really where the idea generation begins. So there's so many different mediums that I'm working with. I've kind of developed this fascination of how to tell stories. You know, it's our currency, it's how we communicate with each other. And, you know, with social media, there's so much reach. And when people see that, they become more familiar. And figures like Stan and Ian were part of that. For me, it was an opportunity to share some of my mahi. I reached out and I said, bro, I want to create something for you. You know, I'm a huge fan and I want to capture some of your story in a timeless piece that you can share with your family forever. It can be a taonga in the whānau. With that intention, I've been able to connect and meet a lot of these people and collaborate.
Yo! This is for you. This represents your last story.
So I sit down with them, understand their journey, and different things as they're talking to me, highlights in my mind of what a symbol would look like to represent that. And the more I learn, the better I can tell their story. And so from there, the piece comes to life. There's so many things that come from like gratitude, sharing a story, being connected, and really just having true good intention behind your work. This is my patu whakairo, my carving mallet. Pretty basic, a 2x4, just carved out, chiseled out. I think with carving, it's been like a really therapeutic activity for me over these past 14, 15 years. We run a little carving class at the local resort at Turtle Bay. We've also taken it to schools around Oahu, and so that's another aspect that we're sort of moving into, sharing whakairo, carving. I just wanted to show them an experience that they can participate in to dive a little deeper into the cultural aspect. Te ao Māori and everything encapsulated within it has really helped me to find my voice, which then in turn helped me understand what my purpose is. I know this is our culture, this is what we do, but these things can be shared with the world. And I think when they interact with it, they find the value. And so sharing some of that in the right context, in the right way is very important for me.